So as a dog breeder, how do you track your results? How do you track your progress as a breeder? Well, today we'll cover that because I guarantee this is something that like 99% of breeders don't do. Dog breeders do at all when it comes to dog breeding. So stay tuned. You're not going to miss this episode of Breeders Hacks. All right, guys? I got you right now.
What's going on, Bully fam?
What's going on, Bully fam? It's your boy, the educator, the scientist, Mr. Double Muscle Line Bulls, bringing you another episode of Breeders Hacks. Let's cover something that 99% of breeders don't do, and that's being able to track their progress on their dogs, recording their dog stats, things like that. I got some puppies here. I actually have to do this on them as well. So let me show this to you guys real quick. This is what's called a breed type tracker. I have a page for essentially every single dog. Now, this is something that my mentor taught me, and it's basically tracking your stats of your dogs. It's rating them on a system from 1 to 10. So let's break down that system. And like I said, 99% of breeders don't do this. Try to memorize the height, the weight, the stats of all your family members. I'm sure you'd forget here and there over the years. Having a breed type tracker makes sure you don't forget. When you want to do breeding or you want to track the progress of puppies, you want to track dogs that may have been dead for years ago. Now you want to use frozen semen and you're in your head, you thought the dog was actually better than it really was. This prevents all that. And this is essentially just tracking your progress. This is something we do on every single dog. And it has their name, the breed, the date of birth, the registration number, and then the 5 elements of breed type. So for those that don't know, I kind of go into that on one of our online pieces that we have, the online courses that we have. There's the 5 elements. There's the breed character, the coat, the head expression, the movement, and the silhouette. And those are all things that make up breed type. We judge our dogs based off of breed type. And this sheet follows the dog for the rest of their life. So we have it here 6 to 8 weeks, 6 months, a year and a half, 2 years, 2.5, 3 years, and then we may continue the sheet. I'm tracking, say these young puppies that I have right here, right? I'm tracking them at 6 to 8 weeks. I'm then tracking them at 6 months. I'm tracking them at a year. And the point B is that if I have a particular puppy that turns out to be phenomenal, and then I get another puppy that turns out to be phenomenal, and then I start to track, okay, at 6 months is when I see a noticeable change, and that tells me if the puppy's gonna be phenomenal or not. You will start to see patterns. If you don't write it down, how will you know? How will you remember? You know? And like I said, I have additional notes written and so on and so forth. So anything that may strike my eye when it comes to the dog at that particular time when I'm evaluating the dog, that's all it is. It's an evaluation system for your dog. But yet again, 99% of breeders don't have this or don't do this. I'm gonna put an image somewhere here so you guys can see it. I'll put it on breedershacks.com in the information center so you guys can use the template for free. And essentially, it's rating your dogs periodically based off of their breed type. So every breed type is gonna be different. You breed schnauzers, you breed German Shepherds, you breed bullies, it's all gonna be different. But essentially, we track the progress of our dogs in case we come across any patterns. So that's the biggest one, is in case we come across any patterns. Another one being is if I plan on using frozen. So say the dog's been dead for a year. Say the dog's been dead for 2 years. Say the dog's been dead for 5, 10 years. And in my mind, I keep saying, man, I would love to be able to breed double cross again. But then when I look at the stats, you know, of the dogs that I have currently versus the stats of back then, the progress that I have made may be very different. So maybe I say, you know what? In my mind, that dog was a phenomenal dog, but he was a phenomenal dog for that time. And you know what? The females that I have now are actually better, and I have no use of actually using that dog. It's more of a nostalgia than anything. So tracking stats is huge. Think about it like this. They track stats in baseball, they track stats in football, basketball, all those things, all of those sports. In the sport of dog breeding, why wouldn't you track your own stats and your own progress within your own dog? Like I said, it's essentially we rate the dogs. We rate the dogs from 1 to 10 based off of all these different stats. So for example, like I said, the breed character, the coat, the head expression, the movement, the silhouette, that all gets rated on a 1 to 10 system. And it just helps us, like I said, keep better track that we're making proper progress, right? And this is like a super humongous gem right now. Even more so for dogs, right? Because what can happen is some people will rate their dogs higher than what they really are. This is what I challenge you in order to develop a better eye for dogs. Because if you have a good eye for dogs, that's what separates a good breeder from a great breeder, a decent breeder from a phenomenal breeder. So the best breeders that I've ever come across are breeders who have a great eye for dogs. And yet again, like I said, like my mentor being one of them, Chris Moore, Bulky Built, he was the one who taught me about this. Take your rating system, your dog that you rated, and now ask someone who's top in your breed, for example, who may be a top breeder in your breed, hey, can you rate my dog on a 1 to 10? And see what they say, and see how close their rating is to your rating. Because if you respect their opinion, if they're at the pinnacle, if they're at the top, if they're the apex, if they're at the top of their particular breed and their rating is close to your rating, that knows that you have a good eye for the dogs. But if it's far off, and you have the dog rated very high and they have the dog rated very poorly, don't be offended, don't be upset. You just need to work on your eye for dogs a little bit and you have room to improve. So that's what I wanted to show you guys. I have a rating system for every single dog and we rate them from 1 to 10 based off of their breed type. I hope this information is helpful. I hope it's useful. I challenge you guys to start tracking your progress and ask someone who's well respected to rate your dogs and see what they come in at. It'll definitely help you develop a better eye, and in turn that helps you develop better dogs. So anyway, guys, hope it's helpful, hope it's useful, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Breeders' Hacks. All right, Wilson, so help me out. We'll start rating some more of these puppies and stuff like that. I gotta start these puppies, they're of age now. All right, guys.